Good morning. We'll begin in just a minute, please. Once all the electronics are put away, we can start. Okay, I've got a couple of announcements on the sideboard here. If you'll look over here, I did receive all of your morally marginal pros and cons, so thank you for that. Those are worth 5 points, so those grades have been posted to the grade book. Wednesday, your assignment number 2 is due, so please let me know if you have any questions on assignment number 2. I will assume that you are working on that with your group. It's due to me by 5 o'clock on Wednesday, so let me know if you have any questions on that one. Just for your information, I do have a 10-point quiz scheduled. It's a secret surprise 10-point quiz, so I can't tell you when it will be, but it will be open note and open book. It probably will not be Monday because this lesson will be Monday's lesson. Wednesday you have an assignment due, so it probably will not be on Wednesday, but probably Friday. So surprise pop 10-point quiz. Final exam date, Monday the 4th from 3 to 5:30. I still haven't decided on the exact format for that, but my thinking is it'll be very similar to test number 2. 10 to 12 short answer questions, allowing you to use your book and your notes, and I'll probably give you that whole time to do the final exam, even though you will not need it, but that one is still a work in progress. So today, this is part 2 of the issue of legal issues in park and recreation management, and I've already given you a basic introduction to the legal concepts, so you should have that information in your notes. Go over it again if you need to. What I'd like to do today is to go over some court cases, and this is what I'd like you to do with these court cases. I'm going to explain most of the information from the court cases. What I need you to do is try and determine, based on what I share with you, who do you think won this case and why do you think they won the case? Once I've explained all this to you, I'd like you to talk these over with your group members, and by Friday, 5 o'clock this next Friday, I'd like your group to send me your thoughts on who should have won these cases and why you feel that way. This is in class assignment 5 points, so please talk it over with your group, decide on who you feel should have won this case and why. Okay, so let us begin. The first case up there you already should be familiar with, Anderson versus the Little League. If you don't remember that one, check the notes on ADA. But in this case, Anderson won. And again, that should be in your notes from ADA on the aspects of that case. Reminder that Anderson was a third base coach for a Little League team and sued the Little League, and he won. Okay. So we've got 5 more cases here I'd like to look at today. Case number 1 was from 1978. Case of Sunday versus Stratton, and it's a Vermont case. When a case is written this way, this is the plaintiff, the person that feels they were wronged. On this side, we have the defendants, the person that's being sued. Okay, so aspects of Sunday versus Stratton. This was a ski resort. Sunday was a beginner skier, went to visit Stratton Resort, and after a day of skiing, Stratton Ski Resort, Sunday decided he would like to ski an intermediate slope. Again, he was a beginner, decided he wanted to ski an intermediate slope. Sunday said there was a bush sticking out from the side of the slope. He hit it and was injured, seriously injured. So Sunday sued Stratton, saying that they should have been more, they should have warned him more about the dangers of the sport. They should have protected him and prevented him from being hurt. Okay. Stratton says, assumption of risk. Every skier knows this is a dangerous sport. You came here to participate in the sport. You assumed the risk. Okay. So 1978, Sunday versus Stratton. If you would, please, consider which of these two you feel has the stronger case. Sunday, the skier who was injured at Stratton Resort, or the ski area? Stratton ski area. Questions on this one that might help you answer it easier. Question?
Did Sunday sign a risk waiver, or was there any sort of like legal assumption of risk where it was written down?
The only thing I will say on that is look at the year, 1978. So it was quite a while ago. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Was anyone else hurt on the bush?
No. And in fact, the ski patrol later went back to the site to try and find the bush, and they couldn't. So either somebody had removed it, or possibly it wasn't there to begin with, but it was not there when they went back to investigate. Okay. And also the slope was well marked. It said, sign at the top, it said intermediate slope, and it had a blue color on the sign, which meant this is an intermediate, not a beginner slope. Okay. Good? Sunday versus Stratton. So again, your decision. Who do you think has the better case? 1979, Miller versus the U.S., United States. And in this case, it was the Department of Interior. This is an Illinois case. This was at a wildlife refuge that had a dock and a boat launch. And the only sign in this area said boat launch. And there were people swimming at the end of the dock. Sunday asked the people, how's the water? They said it's fine. So he ran down the dock, dove in, hit his head on the bottom, and was severely injured. Okay, so Miller sued the U.S. government, saying they were negligent. They should have done a better job of protecting him and making sure the area was safe for swimmers. Okay. The government said, you can't sue us, we're the government. Sovereign immunity. Okay. Also, the government said that Miller was contributory negligent. He should not have just run down and dove into the water without first making sure it was safe. Okay. So, 1979, Miller versus the U.S. Question once again is for your group, who do you think has the stronger case? Miller, the injured swimmer, or the United States government? Questions on this one? Usual question is, were there any other signs? But no, there was not. The only sign in this area said boat launch, nothing else. Okay? Okay, so decide on that one if you would. Next, Smith versus North Carolina. This is one that, unfortunately, too familiar to those of us who live in and around North Carolina. There was a waterfall, and some friends of Smith said, it's a nice waterfall, you ought to go see it. So Smith drove up the road, found a wide spot, parked his car, and then there's kind of a rough trail that went into the back country. Smith followed that trail, found the waterfall, got too close to the top of the waterfall, and was swept over and was severely injured. Okay. The only sign at this area down by the road was a sign that was supposed to say danger, waterfall. Danger, waterfall. But unfortunately, the Forest Service said that that sign was constantly being vandalized. So they didn't know whether that sign was there or not when Smith was hurt. Okay? So, 1993, Smith versus North Carolina, danger, waterfall might have been there, might not have been. So that your question once again for your group to decide is, who has the better case? Smith, the person that was swept over the waterfall injured, he claimed North Carolina was negligent. They should have done a better job of protecting him, keeping him safe. North Carolina said, sovereign immunity. You can't sue us, we're the state. And also they say that Smith was contributory negligent. He should have not put himself in a position to be hurt. Questions on this one? Yes.
Was it on federal land or state land,
North
state
Carolina,
park?
State of North Carolina, yes it was.
Was there any sort of like risk statement involved in the land itself?
Nothing, it was just a place that people knew there was a waterfall, and they shared it with friends to go up and take a look at it. And again, the only thing that might have been there was possibly this sign that they didn't know if it was there or not when Smith visited. Okay? Smith versus North Carolina. Okay, next, Hammond versus the Board of Education. This was a 1994 case from the state of California. Hammond wanted to play high school football. So in order to do that, Hammond had to go to the doctor, get a physical. Hammond's parents had to sign release waivers. Hammond attended practices and eventually made the football team. Unfortunately, in the very first game of the season, Hammond was injured. And Hammond and Hammond's parents sued the school board, saying that they were negligent. They should have done a better job of protecting Hammond and warning about the dangers of the sport. Okay. School board said, you signed a waiver and assumption of risk. You understood that football is a dangerous sport and that you could have the chance of getting injured. Okay. One kind of catch with this case, though, was that Hammond was a girl and she was playing on the boys' football team. So whether that changes how you think about this one again, Hammond, the injured football player, or the Board of Education. Questions on this one? Yes?
Was she hurt by the players or by the game?
During the game, she was hurt. She was hit from behind and apparently injured her spleen. Okay. Good question. Yep.
Was there any ineffective equipment or anything like that?
She had exactly the same equipment that all the other players had. Yep.
Because she was a girl, did her equipment not fit her in the same way it fit the boys?
And that could be a possibility. It was not indicated in the court case, but definitely there's different dynamics there between men and women players. Anything else? Hammond versus the Board of Education. So again, what your group needs to do is decide, who do you feel had the better argument? Hammond, school board was negligent, should have warned her, protected her, or did Hammond assume the risk, sign the waivers, and take the same liability as any other player? Okay, last court case. This is one of my favorites. 1993, Tippett versus the United States. This is the Wyoming case. It's actually Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park, it is legal to snowmobile during the winter into Yellowstone National Park. Tippett was with a group of snowmobilers that were riding their machines into the national park, and a ranger stopped them. And the ranger said, "You see that moose over there? That moose doesn't like snowmobiles." Snowmobiler said, "Thank you," and went on their way. The moose attacked them and knocked Tippett off of his machine, and Tippett was injured. Okay. Tippett sued the United States government, saying they were negligent. They should have protected him against this attack by a moose. Okay. The U.S. government said, sovereign immunity, you cannot sue us, we're the government. And they also said that Tippett assumed the risk of doing the activity. Okay. Questions on this one? Yes.
Did Tippett do anything else to set off the moose or just ride past?
This happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the moose didn't appreciate having them there. Okay.
Did the moose only hurt Tippett, or
Yes.
did they hurt
He was
anyone
the only
else?
one that was knocked off his snow machine and injured. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so again, for each one of these cases, Sunday versus Stratton, Miller versus the U.S., Smith and North Carolina, Hammond, and the Board of Education, Tippett versus the U.S., what I need you to do is with your group, talk these over. decide who you think has the better argument, write that up. And again, it's okay for you to disagree. With 3 people in your group, 2 of you might feel one way, third person the other way. So tell me who you think you feel should have won, and most importantly, why you feel that person should have won. And I would like to get these from you by 5 o'clock on Friday. Okay? Very good. Thank you.